Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Megan.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Grandpa. I'm Matt. And we're some of the Veggie Boys. And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Currently, I'm working my way down to the farm market. Another overcast day is scheduled for us, but I mean, we're kind of expecting it. We're getting into fall. I think later on into next week, we're gonna start seeing some sunny days. So that'll be nice to see. But for now, we'll just be happy with what we're receiving. I gotta get the farm market set up this morning. It's gonna take a little bit longer because I'm by myself. Matthew had to run to the auction, which is no big deal. We really needed him to go. So this is a perfect opportunity, especially on a day where we're expecting it to rain a little bit. So what I'm gonna get started with is getting these floors vacuumed and then getting everything sanitized. I was not by myself for long this morning. Everybody else showed up and we now have got the farm market all taken care of. I had originally thought that Matt left for the auction. He did not leave yet, so he was able to help me get everything cleaned and set up. Now Matthew is not gonna be here all day. As I mentioned, he is gonna be going to the auction. He just hasn't left yet. So before we move on to anything else, I'll share with you what we look at right away when we get down at the farm market. If you've watched the videos for quite some time, you will see sticky notes just scattered about on this thing. Now, as we get orders finished, sticky notes come off, and as more orders come in, sticky notes go back on. But that's what we have to check every day so we know what we need to pick and we know what we need to grab. Some people always ask, you know, how do you figure out what you're gonna do today? How do you figure out what you're gonna pick? Well, that's one of the ways that we do. The other way is by doing a close examination of the cooler and seeing what we do not have. Before we move on to any other jobs this morning, we've been doing a lot of sorting. Dad went to the auction last night and picked up some fruit that we don't have. A lot of apples, a lot of pears, grapes, and things like that, just so that we can have a nice selection for when the people show up. There was a time where we had a pretty sizable orchard, but the problem with having an orchard is everything that came into harvest right when all the vegetables that we were raising came into harvest. And we were stretched too thin at the time, so we stuck with what we were good at, raising vegetables.
And I said, when you do too much, you do nothing right. When you do a smaller amount, you can do better.
Now that the farm market is all taken care of, we're gonna be moving down around back. It looks like the weather is holding out on us. It's pretty nice, actually. When we were finishing up with the orders inside, Dad told us that he had a surprise down around back for us. And I know he didn't go anywhere this morning, so I'm thinking we got cows out or something. I have no idea. Or a new baby, which that would be something. You always check the greenhouses. Believe me, I've found cows in the greenhouses. I see what Dad meant. I have to open up fences, if that gives you an idea of what we gotta do. Get in there. Look at these guys, just out running around. Come on, get in there. Well, I don't think it's a new baby then. I don't know if I could have handled a new baby today. We were doing a little looking around to see if we had any spots where the fence was hanging down, but I think these cattle are just a little on the hungry side and they broke out to get a snack. Which tells us one thing, maybe we need to be given a little bit more feed or a little bit more silage. I honestly thought it was supposed to dry up. They had forecasted it to be on the drier side for the next couple days, but we're not seeing that. Next week though, it looks like it's gonna be pretty dry out, which would be nice. We've had to do a lot of bedding up lately just because it's been so sloppy, which we're not upset about. We kind of expected that, but it's just not fun working in the mud and having it so sloppy everywhere. I'd like it if it was a little cleaner. But it comes with the territory. As you get in the fall, these are things you experience. Daniel got all the silage dumped in for the cattle, and while he was doing that, Dad was working on calves. I'm moving on to grab the grain. That way all of the cattle are taken care of for the morning. Don't want to bury our bucket this morning. Get that out of there. A quick examination at the new babies this morning. Everybody is looking good. Daisy and Rosie have done a great job at taking care of their babies. Everybody's feeding well. The mamas are nice and healthy. And yeah, that's what we like to see, right? Come here. Come here. That's a good girl. We were a little concerned in the beginning because they're both first-time moms. Weren't sure how they were gonna react to having a calf, how they were gonna react to us being in the pen with them and the calf. But from what we've seen, they didn't mind us too much, which makes all of us happy. We wanna be a part of everything. Good morning, ladies. It is feeding time today, so after we get finished with collecting the eggs, we're gonna dump some grain in for these chickens. They've gone through the feed pretty good. We never leave the feeders completely empty, but we always try and make sure that we don't have too much excess just sitting in here. So it's a fine line we try to follow when we feed, but we've been doing a pretty good job. Daniel got all the eggs collected out of the back nest, and I got them all out here. Because it's a little wet, we're gonna be doing a little more animal care this morning. I'm running up to grab some bales of straw so that I can put them into the chicken pen. Chicken pen didn't seem too wet, but they are lacking bedding, which is something we try to avoid. Once the bedding on the floor starts to get less than ideal, all the chickens start pulling it out of the nest, which doesn't help anything. So we're gonna grab a few bales of straw off the porch, load them onto the side-by-side, and get those chickens all taken care of. I got all new straw added to the nest, so that should help, one, to keep everything clean, and two, keep the chickens busy. We just got finished with all the animals. Everybody looked good, plenty of bedding. And as you saw at one point, we were able to even get a nice round bale in for the pastured cattle. We have an order for pumpkins this morning we need to put together. I believe it's only 15, but they like a certain size. So we're looking to see what we have here, and if we don't have what we need, well, we're gonna have to go out to the field. Oh, by the way, it's raining now.
I hate the rain.
Back seat, called it. How are you riding in the back seat?
I don't want to get wet.
Yeah, me either.
How are the calves this morning?
My calves are sore from all the walking yesterday.
No, how are the baby cows?
Baby cows are good.
It's a perfect time to come out and pick. It's really starting to come down out there. There goes the geese, south for winter. Yeah, they are going south. I just had to make sure my direction was right. I hear the geese honking. Why? They were going south and then turned around. Now they're going north. Now, we've already done quite a bit of picking down here in these fields, and once you get down here and investigate a little bit more, you do realize there's quite a few pumpkins. The truth of the matter is we need it to dry up around here. We need it to stop raining or else we're gonna be in trouble. These pumpkins look a lot nicer than the other ones that we had, but it doesn't matter if it's just never gonna stop raining. Now that we're back with all the pumpkins, we just need to get the final part of the order put together. We do have some things to be moved around. Dad picked up some onions from the auction, so we're moving those to the other side of the porch. And then once we have these onions moved, we have Matthew's order all put together. He's leaving, he's getting out of here, he's going to the auction. Not that we want him to leave, we just need him to go to the auction. It's not complicated at all, believe me. Matthew is now all loaded up, so he's gonna be on his way. And I am now heading down around back because as we were gone getting all those pumpkins harvested, and then while we were putting the order together, Daniel has been down around back bagging up potatoes. So I'm just heading down here to make sure that if he needs help, he gets it. It looks like he got quite a few 10s already bagged up. Do you need any 50s or are you just doing 10s?
Oh, I gotta do 50s.
All right, sounds good. I'll get started on 50s then. When you're bagging potatoes, you want to make sure that you're not putting any bad ones into the bags. Now this is easy for us because as we're washing, we make sure to quality check all of the potatoes. If there are any ones that are imperfect or we can't use them, they either one, go to the cows, or two, we eat them ourselves. Nothing goes to waste on the farm, especially when it comes to the produce. There's plenty of ways that you can use it. So Daniel, what are your thoughts on the potatoes? Did they look nice this year?
Yeah, they look real nice.
Don't tell me, are these the nicest potatoes we've ever raised?
I don't know. We've raised some nice potatoes in the past, Andrew.
Dad would say he raised 3 nice potatoes.
Actually, you raised 2, you and Matt.
Look at this guy, man. Now the funny thing is, we have potatoes bagged up in the farm market, so this isn't really too big of a deal to get this done. But you never know when a restaurant is gonna show up, and the restaurants that show up around here will take anywhere from 6 to 10 bags at a time. So if you do not have those available, well, then you can't sell them. So we're trying to make sure that we have plenty of potatoes bagged up just in case anybody shows. Not only are we grabbing white potatoes, we are doing some bags of red. Now the restaurants usually just take the white or yellow potatoes, but there will be an occasional time where they'll take a red or two.
Yeah, we'll do 12, and then the 8 up there gives us 20. That way if they take 10 and 10, we're safe.
We're all finished with bagging the potatoes now, so we're just putting everything on one pallet. That way it's easier to take up top. What's going on over here, mamas? Huh? Oh, look at you. Grandpa dumped tomatoes in for each of these girls. Look at them. Beautiful. Now, we've been talking about names. In the comments, a lot of people like the name Jeff for the bull calf because, well, Jeff was here cutting silage, and yeah, they just think it'd be a good name. So what do you guys think about Jeff for the bull calf name? The other name we were thinking about was Scooter because when we saw him for the first time, he was scooting up over the hill. It was, I don't know, we're excited about it. Now we don't know what we want to do with the heifer calf that was just born. The 2 moms in there, their names are Rosie and Daisy. So we might have to stick with a flower name, we're not sure yet.
What about Callie?
We already have a Callie on this farm. Alrighty everyone, it is lunchtime here on the farm. It looks like we're having sandwiches, and Grammy has also made halushki for us. And she's not even just making halushki. Look at this. She's getting ready to do more work over here. We're now all finished with lunch here on the farm. We're just doing some looking around, making sure we don't need to fill anything up. Even though it's been cool and windy with that cold front coming in from the north, the farm market's been relatively busy, which we like to see. I think we're okay on mums. Nothing major needs to be filled up. Just the other day, we had gone through all of these, cleaned them up. Everything outside is looking nice. Greenhouses are emptying out rather quickly, which is always a good sign for us. We do want to make sure that we have plenty for people, but most importantly, if we can get all this stuff sold, that would be nice. We don't want to throw anything away. We discussed going out to the fields and doing some picking, bringing out some of the equipment, but it's just too muddy. We don't want to get stuck first and foremost, and we just don't want to rip up the fields completely. That would not be fun for anybody. So we decided that we're not going to be heading out and picking anything else today. So I'll probably be around here at the farm helping the girls out in the farm market. And if I find any other jobs, I'll be tinkering at that. Afternoon has been pretty standard for us. We've just been here back at the farm taking care of stuff. Matthew did just get back from the auction. He was picking up some fall items. He did mention that the auction he was at, they had over 4,000 bins of pumpkins. Can you imagine that? That's just like a sea of pumpkins. And that's just the pumpkins. That's not mentioning everything else that people bring to the auction. This time of the year, those auctions get pretty popular. And it's easy to see why when there's so many different farmers raising beautiful produce. So what was the coolest thing you saw at the auction today?
These things called Euxies.
Euxies?
Yeah, they're these like really funky looking flat stackers, and I could not afford them, but they were really cool. Things were pretty cheap today, and those things are going for...
Well, everyone, farm market is now all closed up, so we're gonna be heading home. It was a beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. Alrighty, everybody, we are now home. Dinner tonight is gonna be a little interesting. We got invited over to a friend's house. We're having Taco Tuesday. What? Yeah, so it's technically not date night, but we are not gonna be eating here. So since we're gonna be heading out, that means this is where we're gonna end the video today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.